Fun and games at a grumpy retreat. I'm packaging all the food into Ziploc bags to reduce waste and volume. Brian, meanwhile, is boiling his hiking poles.
Got one off.
Because Lecky have decided to change the system.
Yeah,
in the past, there were some pins you could sort of take off. Now you have to use brute force, and yeah, it's not really working very well. Oh yeah, by the way, the tip of one of his new hiking poles has disappeared, so Lecky, you need to have a word with yourself about the quality of the stuff you sell these days. For the price you charge, can you make it last more than a couple of weeks? And not have people have to do that, because that's just going to damage the tip again, isn't it?
Well, it's on.
Good luck with the second one. Right, after a rather frustrating and somewhat unsuccessful morning, we're off back to Wards. Well, we're slack packing up to Kennedy Meadows, those 2-point-something miles today, just for something to do.
He's got a big pack. Oh, yes. I've got a PayPal account, an English PayPal account, and an English Visa. Kept on knocking back both of them.
To be fair to Keynes, for unspecific reason, we don't know whether it's anything to do with the fact that they're English. It just, whenever you got to the checkout, it said, oh well, something in your order isn't right, please check. With zero indication of what in your order wasn't right.
Heidi's got a special visa that is worldwide, it's not based in one country. We can add money there and then they transfer it to what country we're going to.
Yeah.
So it's not set in one country.
It wasn't having that either, but the really bizarre thing is that when we were back down in Targhee, I ordered insoles from Keen with the exact same details, and that order went through and it arrived everything perfect. So we don't know whether it's whoops or something, whether their server is down or something, but the message wasn't, oh, something's wrong with it. It said something's wrong with your order, your shipping details do not match something. So we sent them an email. I mean, it is Sunday. We won't get an answer until tomorrow. It's just somewhat frustrating because we're stuck at Grumpy Bears. Brian needs new boots because they have actually sprung a hole now, which we'll go into later. So we can't proceed into the Sierras with holes in the boots. That's just, yeah. But because at Grumpy Bears, you know, we have no access to anything. There's Wi-Fi access you have to pay for, but it's quite reasonable. But obviously, you know,
and it's a bit weird because you'll pay by PayPal.
Yeah.
To authorise it, PayPal sends you the text on your phone that you can't get reception.
Yeah, for us there's no cell phone reception, so we can't ring anybody. We can't ring the customer service.
I had to pay with a credit card.
Yeah, Brian couldn't get a confirmation text sent to him to authorise his PayPal thing because we have no service. So yeah, it's very frustrating, and that's completely no idea why that happened because the previous order went through.
To the people who run Grumpy Bear, they work hard. And they do everything. They'll even take your post and post it for you now.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
Yeah, they post everything.
You can post your parcels from there as well. Yeah, when we arrived on Saturday, they were swamped. And they were running their little backsides off. But so nice and so accommodating to everybody. So big shout out to Kendra and Scott. So this is what those 2 miles look like. It is. It is a continuation of the nice that we had coming in.
I think that's Kennedy Meadows.
Oh, well, there's certainly people up there. Houses, things, streams. We've dropped down to the stream. It's a bit of a jungle. Can't actually see the stream. It's only like a couple of meters to our left, but there's all these bushes everywhere. There's the PCT off into the mountains. This This is the road into Kennedy Meadows. You too. The engineer is having a productive day. He found and repaired his leak in the thermarest. He's fixed a myriad of little holes and threatened tears that are starting to appear all over our tent. California is not nice to equipment, I'll tell you. And now he's building.
For some bizarre reason, English smart bottle sport tops are too big for Americans.
Yeah. So we thought we had two smart water bottles with sport tops. Ours have kind of gone the way of the dodo now. They're not very good anymore, so we replaced them all with nice, neat, new 1 liter smart water bottles. And the American ones have a completely different fitting. So the king of bodgers is trying to bodge a way that we can backflush.
Oh, it will work.
Another thing we managed to do today. Big shout out to Jackie at Triple Crown Outfitters. This Keen saga continued this morning with, you know, we were still trying to order the boots for Brian. Tried everything, tried every card we owned, tried every combination of addresses and whatnot, and couldn't get anywhere, and just got these helpful little things saying, oh, please just give us a ring on the customer service thing, and there's no cell reception at Grumpy Bears. So in the end I just walked up to Triple Crown Outfitters and said, you know, do you know whether they've got a payphone anywhere? And she just handed me her satellite phone and said, no, but if it's a local call or if it's an inland call, you can have my phone. I was on the phone to Keen for about 12 minutes to fix it all, and Jackie just was like, yeah, whatever, no problem. And this was, you know, she made no money out of that whatsoever. I'm basically phoning a different supplier saying, can I buy gear from you, from her shop? So massive shout out, thank you. We got it sorted in the end. Keen somehow managed to budge something there, and because basically American companies do not accept, or a lot of them don't accept, credit cards registered in another country.
Or PayPal. I've got a PayPal account registered in England. They don't accept it, only American PayPal.
Which makes no sense whatsoever, because it's like the whole point of having things like PayPal and credit cards surely is that you can just internationally buy stuff. If I just wanted to buy stuff at home, I'll use my debit card. Yeah, whatever, it's fixed now. We're having a much better day today than we had yesterday. 20 watching minutes later.
So what we've done, broke that edge off, filed that down, and got the thing out to fit. Seam sealed it inside, and because you take the thing off and file it, it's a really tight fit, so you just super glue it. I earned £2 for that, at least, or a bottle of whiskey or whatever.
While we're stranded here at Grumpy Bears, we thought we'd do a little mini gear review of some items that have worked better than we had hoped for, some that have been utterly disappointed, and one where the jury's still out.
For the 700 miles, me and Heidi have been wearing Craghopper socks. We used them a few hundred miles before we actually come out, and we've done, yeah, we got 3 pairs, but we've done 700 and none of them seem to be wearing out. Unfortunately, unlike Darn Tough, we don't get a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah, but at the moment it doesn't look like you need one, because, I mean, we've had these socks for about 3 years before we came out here. So all our day hikes, all our long distance hikes in the UK were all done, yeah, with a rotating pair, but yeah, they probably have about 1,000 miles on them each, at least.
Before we come out, I think.
Yeah. And they show no strain, so big thumbs up for Craghopper.
We wore Keen, but they're a bit small.
No, these are mine.
The inner soles were great. this is all foam here, and it's foam across there. I started using my foot for putting the pegs in.
Yeah.
And the pegs started going through, and I didn't notice.
Well, we think that's why we're kind of, the jury's out on the Keens. They've lasted, mine have lasted beautifully for 700 miles. They have another couple of hundred at least, and then there's a little bit of wear and tear here, but nothing too bad. Brian's obviously one of them sprung a leak, a hole in the bottom, but we do think it is user error. It's because we've been, I mean, the MSR pegs actually, they're another thing we need to talk about.
They're amazing. They don't bend.
Yeah. These 10 pegs we're using, the MSR Groundhog ones, are absolutely brilliant. They do not bend, they go into any surface, sometimes they need a little bit of help, but they are just unbreakable. However, they have quite sharp edges at the top. These things here are, yeah, I mean, I can't demonstrate it obviously.
Sharp edges could be us hammering it down with a brick.
Yeah, so because they're sharp edges, we should not have used our boots on them. We should have used a stone, because this stuff, I mean, I don't know if you can see how squishy that is. These bits fine, but obviously this is what gives the sole all the flexibility. Yeah, and we went,
as Heidi said, we've done 700 miles in the desert in these. We didn't actually wear them before we bought them.
No.
They were straight off, and they've been comfy. We've gone through water. We've got rain through for 3 or 4 days. And I'd say, yeah, we've had blisters. We walk all the time, so we're going to get blisters, but
nothing bad at all. I had one bad blister, which was entirely my fault for walking with sandy, wet boots in a hot day. I mean, like literally all boxes of how to get blisters ticked. And other than that, nothing. Tiny bits here and there.
I think I've had about 2 or 3 blisters,
but nothing that hurt and stopped you from hiking, that's for damn sure. Yeah, so far, a cautionary thumbs up. If these fall apart in the next 100 miles, they're not that great. Our choice of how to cook things is working really well for us.
We tend to put the ramens, and at this stage in the walk we're doing ramen bombs with half mash, half ramens. Boil the water, half the water into there.
So all that ever goes into this pot, apart from dirt, is water. So we never actually have to clean that, other than swig it out.
And now we've moved on to porridge in the morning. And we've got our happy people.
Yeah.
And this is our porridge. We fill it up with our porridge and protein mix. And fill it up, mix it, and that's our breakfast.
Yeah, and the reason we went for extra pots for that is everything tastes of vanilla for the next 3 days after we had a breakfast. Yeah. So while this is extra weight, it's just, again, it saves us having to properly clean pots. Yeah, so we can just swig them out and go.
And if we're in somewhere where there's not much water and we don't get to wash it for one day, it's not a big thing.
No.
Because we're not mixing the pots together.
No, so the pots can permanently taste of curry and the breakfast pots can permanently taste of vanilla.
Yeah.
And this is the star of the show here.
The solar panels.
The solar panels that everybody tells you not to bother with because they don't work, have worked brilliantly.
This is a very big one. It's 2,000 milliamp.
20,000, I think.
20,000 milliamp. We do have a 212, and they will charge in a day. And it's nice and sunny. With just the panels.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it in many videos that Brian just tends to have them hanging off the back of the pack, and more often than not, the entire battery. If we haven't run it down to nothing, the battery will recharge in a day, maximum 2 days, which is roughly the same length of time it takes us to run them down.
Yeah.
So this has been self-supplying brilliantly. Now the trick is you charge battery banks off the solar panel, not your devices.
Or do not charge a battery bank and put your device
while your device is running off it. The manufacturers tell you that, but people keep doing it and then go, oh, solar panels don't work.
The reason why you're not supposed to do that because you'll get shade, and it'll produce a little charge, and it'll keep on turning your phone on and off, or your device on and off, and draining the power.
So it's draining the power at a higher rate than it's putting it in.
The way it works on a battery will keep on taking little power if it's not there, and then it charges itself if it is there. So it doesn't decharge.
Yeah, so we have never had to stay anywhere for longer or hang around restaurants or anything to charge our devices, because this stuff does it. In fact, we found that more often than not, our solar panels charge faster than the power outlets do, and our devices charge faster from the disconnected battery than they do from. So we tend to not actually use the plugs. A word for our viewers about gut hooks.
Gut hooks, I think, it's slightly a waste of money. I think it's overpriced, especially for Android users that freezes. Start it up and it just freezes. So you have to turn it off and do it again, People say turn your phone off. You turn your phone off and it still does the same.
Yeah.
For something you're paying for to behave in that way, I think it's a bit of a rip-off.
Especially given that it apparently behaves beautifully for iPhone users who do not pay anymore. So we get half the service for the same money. As we said before, don't get us wrong, the information on gut hooks is very good. But if you can't access it...
And it doesn't tell you where you are for like 2-3 hours sometimes.
Yeah, it's not...
It's pointless. You might as well take maps for it,
Which we have, thankfully. The Rab Downpour jacket. Yeah. Should probably be on the indifferent pile, because...
Brand new.
Mine's okay, but
yeah, if you're carrying a heavy pack, I've thought you can see where this is what the seam should be like. Nice flat. I put seam sealer on it to hopefully repair it, but you can see all the seam sealer, the original, just coming off.
It just started to separate. And
it's starting to bubble.
And that's what happened. I mean, we have no idea why. We're saying, oh, heavy pack, because it's the only explanation we have for it, but basically this is just a material error. It's a rain jacket for outdoors pursuits. You should be able to wear a backpack with it, and Brian's backpack was not that heavy. Mine's heavier, and it didn't happen on my jacket. So, as I said, my jacket's fine.
Maybe that's because Rab is now made in Bangladesh.
Rab, seriously, if your quality control needs... Sorry, your quality control needs to have a word with themselves.
And if anyone's coming on any long walks, don't buy it.
No, because you can't. I mean, we had...
You're better off buying frog togs that are cheap.
Yeah, and then you don't mind if you have to throw them away after a week. I mean, we tested this in the UK and it was fine. So it's not like we bought this and never had a look at it, but yeah, very disappointed. As I say, mine works, but 1 out of 2 is not good enough. Unsurprisingly, in the waste of money gear...
But waste of time. Within 3 days with these on me, all these come off.
Yeah, this is actually my pair because Brian's thrown his away. There's absolutely no point in keeping them.
Within 5 days, all of these have come off.
Yeah, mine's starting to do the same thing now. They're splitting at the seams. These things retail at $25 the pair.
In America, they're more expensive than England.
I'm sorry, I just think for that kind of money, things have to last more than a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And okay, this is after 700 miles, but it has been in this state for quite a while. And you've seen it in the videos. Brian's were like that right from the word go. This is just, sorry, it's not good enough. It's a huge brand, Outdoor Research. Again, I don't know what's going on, whether they've shipped everything out to China and dropped the ball on...
Oh, made in China now.
Yeah. I mean, you might as well buy a cheap pair from China.
China, yeah. Go on eBay and look for something in China.
Yeah. Sorry, Outdoor Research.
You get 4 pairs.
But this is not good enough. So there you have it. The good, the bad, and the jury's out.
Hi guys, I'm the king of the castle. She's the dirty rascal.
Yeah. We got a chair gifted to us by some locals driving past yesterday. They saw me sitting in the dirt editing, and the truck just pulled up and went, "Hey, do you want a chair?"
And it's the chair.
People are awesome.
Don't know why I'm sitting in and she isn't.
Well, because you're smaller than me, so you know, we thought we'd even things out.
Whatever.
Right, week 10, the Vortex week.
Yeah, we've been stuck here for
I think it's
a lifetime.
possibly day 6 today, could be
Yeah.
day 5. Veering towards day 6.
Well, tomorrow will be Friday.
Okay, then it's day 6. We
then-
walked in on a Saturday.
Then, was it? Okay, and we started, from Saturday we tried to order boots from Keynes. If you're going to order something, do it 2 weeks in advance and get it off REI.
Yes, definitely. Because well, you've heard the saga. They don't accept credit cards that aren't registered in America, which is just utterly absurd. So
And they say they do a 3-day, if you pay extra, 3-day postage.
Yeah.
But when you book it, they don't class that as a day. Or when they send it out the first day, they don't class that as a day.
Yeah, that's the surprising thing. To be fair, the day they're posting it out, they do specifically say that if you place the order before 9:45 a.m., it goes out that day. Because we had all this palaver. It was after 9:45 when we finally got when Jackie let us use her phone, so we missed that slot. But the next day also doesn't seem to. I don't know.
Yeah.
The boots aren't here yet. Hopefully they'll get here tomorrow. We're still here. Yeah, 0 days. When we set out our little plan on how we're going to hike to PCT, we had very few 0 days in there because we thought, it should be possible to just kind of hike a bit in the morning, hike into the town, pick up, because we're doing everything with these resupply companies, pick up your parcel, buy the extra bits, have a meal, hike out. I think we've managed to do that once in Big Bear City, and it's beautiful when it works, but we've fallen into a really stupid rhythm where we seem to hit every single resupply town or every town we send a box to on a weekend. So we're kind of stuck for at least half a day all the time.
As you know, we got caught with a lot of bad weather.
Yeah.
And when you get into town, you go, God, we deserve some comfort.
And the other thing is that when it's not as straightforward as it was in Big Bear City, where literally, everything is in the same square, isn't it? You've got your laundry, your shop,
Post office.
the post office, and where you can eat is within 5 minutes walk from each other. But like places like Tehachapi and Lake Isabella, we ended up walking for miles to get from, Tehachapi, the post office is 1.6 miles out, so that's a 3 mile there and back, and we had to do that twice. And then the good, the chain stores, the what do you call them, the supermarkets chains that have the cheaper prices, they tend to be a bit on the outskirts. Lake Isabella, it was a 2 mile walk from where we got dropped off to the RV park, and then another 1.5 miles back to where all the supermarkets were, and so you do end up spending the entire day just walking up and down, and then you haven't relaxed at all. So you haven't had a 0/Nero at all. You've just been continued walking, just on a different surface and not with your backpack. So yeah, we ended up taking a lot more zeros than we had planned.
And you go in, you have all these plans. 3 days tend not to be enough.
No. Yeah, it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
But obviously, getting stuck here for 6 days, that's beyond trying to rest and recuperate. That's just bad luck. With all the parcels that we knew were going to be late actually arrived nice and early. The rain pens that we thought were going to keep us here until today, they were here yesterday.
Day before.
The day before even. We ordered a new camera when we arrived here, which is what we're filming with here, for me. And that came from eBay inside 2 days without having to pay any extra expedited postage because they didn't offer that. That again, they said, it will be here by the 7th. It was there 2 days later. Great. So the only company that's let us down is Keen. Sorry. Nice boots. Not a nice company. But anyway, resupplies. Getting stuck at Grumpy Bears for a week has cost us dearly. Not as dearly as it could have, but
we did meet an American couple that we were hiking in around Idlewild with, and they're skipping ahead.
Yeah.
And they just said, you can borrow our ice axes.
And they
just post them back to us when you finish with them.
They happen to be the exact same sizes as what we would have needed. Sandy and Dan, I mean, you have no idea how big a favor you've done us there. But Sandy's ice axe fits me perfectly, Dan's fits Brian's perfectly. So we saved ourselves a lot of money on gear that we would have bought, and 250 miles later didn't need it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we will of course now go through the Sierras on tender hooks, hoping we don't scratch those beautiful pristine ice axes. But yeah, thank you so much, Sandy and Dan. That was an amazingly generous thing to do, and we will take the best care we can of those axes. I'll promise you that. But we converted those $200 that we saved on the ice axes into food
And beer. Not that much beer, not as much as I would like.
Yeah. So this is what we spent so far. We're actually not out of Grumpy Bear yet, but the 7 days have gone. So we spent about $30.82 on topping up these supplies, because even though we walked in here with a lot of food, obviously it wasn't enough to cover 6 extra days. So that's $30.82. Then we spent $223.47 on town food. All of it at Grumpy Bear's, which, when you think about how long we've been here, is actually not bad. It's very reasonably priced, I must say. We spent $388.66 on equipment. That includes the new camera and 2 new pairs of boots, Brian's, because in order to get the faster postage, I actually ordered a new pair for myself as well, which I will have to bounce on when they arrive, because I don't need them yet, but I will obviously before the PCT is finished, I will. So that's why that equipment charge is so high, because it's boots for the future and, as I said, a camera. We spent $6 on showers, because Grumpy Bears unusually, they don't charge for laundry, but they do charge for shower. It's $3 a person, so between us that's $6. We have so far spent $29.90 on postage, because we've been bouncing parcels ahead. We're sending all the gear we don't need for the Sierras ahead. And we had so much extra food that we've pretty much filled an order for Independence already. So
we should have more or less the next 10 days after the 10 days.
Yeah, I mean, most of it is in Independence, will be in Independence waiting for us. And another unusual thing, we have spent $14 so far on the internet. Now this is a completely new post, but Grumpy Bears do charge, or they use a company that charges for Wi-Fi. The charges are not bad. They're $2 for 2 hours, $5 for 8 hours, or $10 for 24 hours.
Yeah, it's a decent enough internet if you want to look at stuff, watch YouTube, or if you want to upload stuff. It's fishy.
It's like with everywhere else. If there's another 20 hikers doing the same thing, Today it's been really fast because there's not many people here.
And it's suddenly gone really slow. Loads of people are on it now.
Yeah, so it's slowed down now. We bought twice 8 hours so far, and twice 2 hours, just to sort out all this keen nonsense and ordering and stuff. That's an unusual post.
If you just want to look at your emails, Triple Crown outfit has got a Wi-Fi themselves. If you want to look at your emails and stuff like that, it's okay.
Yeah, it's free. If you sit outside their store, you get roughly a good enough. I mean, I don't, but every other human being gets a good enough signal to check emails and send emails and stuff. So all in all, we have managed to spend in week 10 $692.85, which brings our total so far up to $4,708.86, and we are hoping there will be no more. not while we're here anyway. Maybe a couple more beers.
Yeah. Like 12 now. Okay, 1.